If you want something done properly, you got to do it yourself. Yep, that's the today thing, right? So just out on a ride, and you know what? There's plenty of stuff we need to talk about, but what are we going to fit in this video? Well, the details around, if you want it done properly, you got to do it yourself. So hopefully you can do it properly. It's a bit on you now, and things have been headed that way for a long time. Sorry, a bit of wind out here. That's why I did order a microphone, so I can actually walk and ride and have the mic up close, and the phone camera could be pointed in any direction really. Many bike paths to ride around on. A few plucker ducks down here in the water, and that's the non-off-road version bike that gets around everywhere else. The weather, let's have a look at the weather. You know, it's a bit like that. It's looking a bit like that. It's a bit like today's this week's, this month's, this year's world climate. The way things are, you never really know what's going to happen next. It's been a bit of sun, it's been a bit of cloud, it's been a bit of, well, there's actually a few spots of rain actually come out of that cloud there, but there's no rain on the radar or on the weather outlook you can see. So we're surrounded by clear skies in the distance, but there's one looming black cloud that isn't even meant to be in there on any prediction, but there's a few spots of rain. Just a few spots, very light, not much. This isn't the Weather Channel though, is it? So yeah, I was thinking earlier, like what happens, I have all these awesome thoughts, and if I've got time right then at the time to do the video, it'd probably be better. But you know, you're busy when you have these thoughts. So I've been taking some notes, and I think what I meant when I said if you want something done properly, you got to do it yourself. Well, that's the thing. In your life, if you want your life to be organised and things to be done properly, you've got to do it yourself. So in your job, in your business, you know, you kind of, big business, you need some helpers. Maybe this is what I was getting towards. If and when there's a business, well, you know, if you want it done properly, you've got to do it yourself. You can't just kind of rely on other people to do it. I've had a lot of thoughts today. You know, I think about someone I know who owns a restaurant. And for years I've been seeing the decline in staff, both, you know, waitresses, waiters, and staff that actually does the cooking. Just decline. The only way I reckon he'd be able to make any money, mate, he's under the pump. So, you know, he's got plenty of money. Let's just leave it at that. That's the way I see it. But he's got to be there. And he might love it, and he might love the pressure cooker, because you know, when it comes to lunchtime, dinner time in particular, on a Friday, Saturday night, I know what happens in restaurants Friday, Saturday night at dinner time. It's a pressure cooker. I don't know if that pressure's, you know, really any good for you. It wouldn't be any good if I dropped the phone down in these reedy, wet, you know, on a bit of a bridge here. And it's looking pretty gnarly if you drop something, you had to go down in there to get it. So I'll be careful about that. And that's all part of the mix, isn't it? You know, you got to really think about these things. Like, you got to think about your health. Like, why is this bloke out there? He's having a bit of a job. And good on him, you know. You got to get out there, mate. You got to move that body every day. Because if you haven't got your health, I've said it before, you got nothing. So if you want something done properly, you got to do it yourself. That means stop listening to people, all these different experts that aren't really experts. I just think you got to really spend some time thinking about it. So this note that said, if you want it done properly, you got to do it yourself. There was more of a zing to it when I thought of it, and I put it in the notes, and it's not really that exciting at the moment. So when you get someone else to do it, often they don't do the job right. They don't do it as quick, right? And it costs you money, which is why it comes back to, if you want it done properly, do it yourself. You might not do it as quick. You might do it quick if you don't know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, you'll do it quick. And by getting other people to do it, if they're good, well then that's great. You've got helpers, you've got someone to do something for you, but get someone else to do it, costs you money. You know, so that means you got to, so if you've got a business, okay, let me think about someone, a different person I know. I know a lot of people with businesses. Someone in a different business, right? Let's not go into what business it is, but let's just say he's got a few employees. He's got a few Always got a few stresses, you know, a few stresses going on in the business. And you know what? The people that work there, they've got their problems as well. That bloody wind. The water looks this side, better this side, but try and get over this side. Might get out of the wind a bit, get the wind behind me. It's just turned around coming from the south, so it's been northerly. It's been a bit still the last hour or two. I thought, I'll go for a quick ride and let's get this talk done while I'm out, and then the wind picks up from the south, just to annoy things. And I know it's important that you can hear me, because it's important that you can hear me, and it's important that that wind's not annoying, because you might switch it off because the bloody wind's annoying. I get it, but you need to be patient with this channel and me, because I've got all the info you need to make it easy as far as the financial side goes. There's going to be mistakes everybody's made. There's going to be learning to do. It's going to come down to a lot of hard decisions. It's going to be hard because you've got a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a husband or a wife, partners, and you've got family, and you've got the kids, and the kids want things, and you think you've got to provide for the kids. You know, you think you've got a duty to, you know, leave things for them. Well, you don't, right? You don't. You're just you. And if they get anything, if you happen to drop dead and they end up with something, well, that's lucky them, but they're not entitled to that. So they need a wake-up call as well. It's their life. They need to pull their finger out and start from scratch, just where most of us did. Some people got lucky, but I'm telling you, when we started, 50 years ago and further back, most people started with nothing and they did their own thing and they worked it out. Where now, it seems everybody's, you know, they need you to buy them a car, they need you to buy them a house or put a deposit or go guarantor, whatever. We're going to talk more about it, you know. Like I said, the subject was, if you want something done properly, you got to do it yourself. So think about that. Your life, your business, your choices, your health, your whatever it is. It's all up to you. If you decide to start a business, well, you've got to be able to do it. You, your life, your business, everything, you've got to be able to do it all yourself, because if you want it done properly, you've got to do it yourself. If you want it done right, do it yourself. You can try and get some helpers and it might work out, but how long can you rely on them for? Costing you a lot of money, not really working that quick, a bit slow. The money it costs, you could probably do it yourself. A lot of people know what I mean. A lot of people do their own thing, and I suppose that's part of it as well. But I don't really know exactly what I meant by, if you want it done properly, you got to do it yourself. So I'm going to stop talking, and if it comes back to me another day, we'll just do this video again. But I don't think it was worth nothing. I think it's worth hitting the like button. Give me a comment. Did that one help, or was that just a waste of time? Bada bing, bada boom. Catch you on the next one.